The problem is the legal firms and the accounting and forensic firms, they have not invested 5, 6, 7 years of their life and millions of dollars into building a solution for this. They have been watching Bitcoin and this world kind of, okay, well, we'll get our shit together when this becomes a real market, is being validated now. This is my point. All these actions by the U.S. government are real serious indicators of they know they can't stop it. So what they're going to do is they're going to figure out a way to collect tax on it, which for some reason, some particular crypto people believe that just because you live in the US, that you can swap Uniswap for Bitcoin and you don't have any tax exposure. It's like, I don't know who told you that. Okay. There's people in Bitcoin that think that they never have to pay taxes because it's Bitcoin. And I'm like, wow, what cartoon book did you guys read on sitting on the toilet? Because that's just not real.
Gary Cardone's predicted that Bitcoin will reach an astounding $200,000 per coin by the end of 2024, which is causing quite a stir. Recently, Gary explained why the US government isn't trying to ban Bitcoin, but is instead planning to tax transactions, highlighting the cryptocurrency's enormous appeal. Gary has always been an outspoken supporter of real estate investing, but in 2023 and 2024, he took a strong position in favor of Bitcoin. He explains why he made this change in a recent video. Intriguing developments for Bitcoin and the crypto scene in the coming year will be revealed by Gary Cardone, so be sure to watch the entire video till the conclusion. Furthermore, he encourages viewers who value staying updated on financial topics to think about subscribing or liking the video. These are the reasons why. In Gary Cardone's opinion, Bitcoin might eventually reach $200,000 per coin. There just aren't any changes. Imagine if you had a tractor that was so advanced that could dig a ditch. Some of these men are so skilled with their devices that you could pull a piece of paper 3 feet into a moist hole. That is too much for me to handle. Attempting it would be too much for you. We would be destroying the tractor and falling off. From the point of view of the trader, a man dealing in a great deal of volume across a wide variety of jurisdictions and products and services. Node 40 developed these civic instruments. $100 bands are his trade target. As Bitcoin's market relevance grows, I predict that will increase. There will be a great deal of uncertainty. Finding it won't be an issue, but tracking and tracing it will be a major headache. It's about assigning a monetary value to these transactions so that in 4 years' time, you can go back and see how that coin or investment performed during the lifetime of that family, right? Or corporation. People keep losing sight of the fact that these coins will eventually move. 1 or 2 banks won't be my only options all the time. A romance with Fidelity is likely on the horizon, followed by another romantic partnership. Perhaps I will start doing, or at least borrowing money against, Bitcoin when its value reaches $200,000. In order to avoid being taken advantage of by either the government seeking unjustified tax revenue or the professional demanding an unfair hourly fee, I will require a Node 40 that can document my steps, deliverables, and cost basis. No lawyers that I know of take cases like this on a contingency basis. Hourly rates go from $700 to $2,000, dude, for this service. The cost escalates significantly. If I were to pay, sample, $200 per hour at KPMG, I would prefer that they employ streamlined services to provide me with the blue check mark. Wouldn't you agree? In my opinion, this is only a sign of the maturation of this sector. I had the need to compose an official letter to the state. To be honest, I have no idea what any of that entails. A year ago, though, I did mention that we would benefit from having a presence in the nation's capital. It saddens me that the government thinks we aren't prepared. Think about it. It's going to take 3 years to launch this, man. Can you do it? The investor should be held financially accountable for his investment and should be required to pay taxes, all right? Paying taxes is something I support. I think everyone should pay the maximum amount of taxes that the law permits. After that, arbitrate all the rules as needed. We are prepared. Tomorrow morning, we can take on 30,000 clients and be prepared for the following day in April. Sure thing, we made this to be scalable. Some others resorted to the old SaaS and managed to raise ridiculous sums of money. The next step was to focus on the customer as it was the Netflix business strategy. Until the very end of the 20th century, that was the standard, wasn't it? Make a free sale, like Facebook, get a lot of people to utilize it, collect a mountain of data, attempt to construct an AI based on it. After a while, you'll start to see a profit. They raise capital at incredibly inflated valuations, which is a major concern. Someone just needs to mention that they have a digital division of expertise and can take care of everything. A single payment would be more convenient for me. Like a doctor, I'd prefer to have only one person who can look at my whole portfolio. Having him on my side is preferable to having 5 or 6 other advisors. Everyone involved in the 20th century's analog systems, accounting, tax, forensic audit, law enforcement, enforcement agencies, the Department of Justice, the Securities and Exchange Commission, etc., are being warned. You can access these tools now. Here we go. Okay, also, I don't see the point in dragging this out for 3, 4, or 5 years. In the first 3 months of the year, we will launch Bitcoin. The market is shifting to favor the big boys, and their tools will be necessary. All right, then. The IRS is being suggested by others, but I fail to understand why. I really hope the IRS will sit down and talk to us seriously about how to proceed if their experts are claiming they aren't prepared. We're ready to deploy Node 40 into the IRS, and we'll make sure they're ready too. We could immediately begin working with the IRS to supply them with the information they need to track the digital assets on and off-chain movements, whether they be coins, NFTs, or something else entirely. Once that asset type is digitized, you'll need to monitor its progress. This issue has not attracted any financial investment. When it comes to this, I excel. I see. It seemed like everyone was purchasing Dogecoin and attempting to get into exchanges, Binance, and FX at the same time. Hey, could you tell me where I can find the shovels and picks? For the simple reason that I could care less about Bitcoin's future. The taxman will receive his money, I'm sure of it. You must take this into consideration. This is very fundamental. I see there are a lot of instances of there will be a plethora of new businesses springing up to service this sector, such as digital asset education and convention planning. There will be a shift in the educational industry as a whole, with some of the more established players making the transition, but only after they've gone the extra mile. That, in my opinion, is the crux of the issue, because there has been so much commotion in this field. The kind of commotion that sounds like a circus. The big accounting companies and experts are afraid to risk losing a competent employee due to all the uncertainty. What if, for example, we identify a villain? Swindle and the FTX man fooled a ton of people into thinking he was real. In the industry, there have been several starts and stops. Those have probably been seen before. It's safe to say that we've seen most cases of that kind of behavior before. Hopefully that is now in the past. It would pain me if we got into this. All right, we'll have to wait till 2030 to figure this out because that won't help us in the least. I see. So it's not both of you and the know your customer provisions. The significance of the KYC is unclear to me. You should just get out of the country if you're not cool with being KYC. That is, unless you intend to alter the regulations. I still don't think that will materialize. That doesn't mean the US government or any professional firm doesn't have access to the tools. It just means the firm has decided not to purchase them, or any of them for that matter. You can choose from 5 different firms. You can either purchase them or construct the software yourself. You should be ashamed if you haven't been developing the program. In the past 40 years, there hasn't been a single story where enormous carpets have produced anything, any software. So when I say shame on you, I'm actually joking. They purchase programs to serve their current clientele. They rely on the resources provided by other parties. Their consumer base numbers in the